A very good afternoon, my brothers and sisters. I am doing this Facebook Live as a form of continuing our public education and awareness as it relates to some specific matters with a view of ensuring that our country remains safe on our roadways, our people and our citizens are satisfied, and that we could embrace each other in a spirit of collaboration and cooperation as the President Irfan Ali-led government continues to modernize and transform Guyana. There are a few things I want to address. Derelict vehicles, number one. Number two, damage to government property by motorists. Encroachments and building on road shoulders and on government reserves. And the instituting of 2 new hotlines at the Ministry of Public Works to ensure that we could engage with the public and we could improve the level of efficiency and be able to interact in a better way with citizens and addressing citizens' concerns. Let me start with the first one, derelict vehicles. Over the last year, we have been moving, taking to the derelict dump site vehicles of all sizes and descriptions. And especially during the national cleanup campaigns that we would have had, my colleague, the Honorable Derelict Indar, who would have been spearheading that task force, would have worked with various stakeholders and the Ministry of Public Works, and we have cleared several locations of derelict vehicles, garbage, and the rest of it. And I think now Guyanese are becoming fatigued and fed up, because it would appear that sometimes once you finish cleaning, the very same thing reoccurs. We're giving notice to everyone. Derelict vehicles, vehicles without wheels, vehicles without doors, vehicles with bush growing in it, that have been abandoned on road shoulders will be removed, and it will be crushed into scrap at the government's derelict site, which is on the Linden-Soosdijk Highway. We have engaged a number of contractors who have been moving. This is a costly exercise, of course, and an unnecessary cost to the state. And I repeat, an unnecessary cost to the state. But it is not something that we could refuse to do or not do, because we are putting citizens' lives at risk. It is a safety issue, because when the shoulders are encumbered, in the case of an emergency, you don't have any way to pass. And then it's also a security issue, because people could hide in these areas and in the evening hours pounce on people for robbery and the rest of it. So I want to reiterate, we will continue to remove derelict vehicles across the road network in all regions of Guyana. And later, when I come to the hotline numbers, you will be able to find ways and means of even communicating with the ministry to identify areas that needs to be addressed. So I'm giving notice because some people often say they didn't get notice, but I'm giving notice. We just can't dump derelict vehicles on the road shoulders. The second thing that I want to address is that we have seen that a number of accidents have occurred. And when those accidents occur, not only lives are lost or limbs are damaged and people have severe injuries, but there is also a phenomenon where government property is being damaged as well. Well, we are giving notice and we are working with the Guyana Police Force, the Ministry of Public Works, Traffic and Maintenance Division, and we're giving notice. A motorist is in an accident and you damage a lamp pole, a traffic light, the guardrails, you break out the head walls for bridges and culverts. The notice is given. The parties responsible will have to pay. And I repeat, you damage government property, you will be made to pay. And then we also have a new phenomenon. Not only in terms of motor vehicles and lorries and hitting guardrails or hitting out poles or damaging median, we also have a situation where owners of excavators and other heavy-duty machinery are walking on newly paved roads without putting the pads. So they're digging into the asphalt, destroying road shoulders, and we're indicating this practice must stop. We've been talking to people and we have been engaging, but the time has come when we have to enforce this. I'm giving notice. You damage government property, you will be made to pay for it. Our legal team will pursue ensuring that the cost of repairing will be borne by you. So, for example, in some of the new highways that have just been built and opened, we've put in the guardrails, the safety rails. People have been damaging it. We have to go get contractors to replace it and the rest of it. Well, the notice is given. Whatever it costs, the parties responsible will be made to pay for it. Number 3, I want to deal with encroachments on the road shoulders. This has been a vexing issue for a very, very long time. And let me just indicate what I've seen as a new development that we also have to address. Supermarkets, as well as other major stores, they have these huge buildings which they operate from, and that's fine because as a government, we are encouraging people to do business. We want to see people be entrepreneurs. We don't want to take bread out of people's mouth. We don't want to stop or quench even small businesses from developing. The government is a government that helps and assists businesses. But we have to operate in a framework of law and order. So you have a situation where there's a business, and then the supermarket, the hardware store, they bring things out almost on the road. So when somebody is going to stop to go into that business, everything behind them have to stop. So there's a large backup of traffic. Secondly, because the pedestrian walkways are encumbered by these businesses with advertising their merchandise or their items, pedestrians have to walk in the path of moving vehicles rather than being in the path, the footpath that is created on the road shoulder. And this is becoming more and more pronounced. Over the last several days, we've had cause to move and remove items from some of these businesses, and I'm indicating it will not be allowed. We also have tire shops, and some of these tire shops are not just operating on the shoulder of the road, they're operating now on the roadway. They're packing tires, whether it's old tires, parking cars, they're jacking up to change wheels on the carriageway. So think about a car that is being jacked up on the carriageway to change a tire, and other persons have to wait behind until they complete that transaction, and that is leading to major disruptions in terms of traffic flow. We are begging and we are pleading with all of our Guyanese brothers and sisters as we continue to modernize and transform Guyana. We can do better. And wherever there are violations, we will continue to remove these encumbrances and encroachments. So whether they be supermarkets, tire shops, owners of vehicles, whether it's excavators or buses that you're parking on the footpaths or in the walkway of these roads and on the shoulders of these roads that are putting pedestrians in the path of the traffic. And some of those pedestrians are our school children and elderly people. We have to correct this. So I'm using this live this afternoon to make people aware. We have to start making the adjustments. We have our team going through very many of these areas, and we've been talking to people, and we expect compliance. And if within 24, 48 hours people are not moving, the government, through the Ministry of Public Works, will have to remove these items, and they would only be restored to you when you pay in full the cost of removing it in the first place. So if it's a case where you park or you leave your 40-foot containers on a road shoulder or on a road and it's been there for a while and the government have to move it, you will get the container back when you pay the ministry, the government of Guyana, the cost of the removal, because we're not going to bear that cost while people do whatever they want. We have to bring order back to the society. So if I come and I have to move your gas bottles and your water bottles and all your flowers and everything that is out there, the people are establishing these places like if it's part of their own personal property. And the walkways, the road shoulders are pushing people in the path of the traffic. Dangerous for life and limb, but there's also a major interruption with traffic flow. We are addressing this as well. The fourth issue that I want to bring to your attention, because a few Fridays ago, we began testing using the scales to test the axle loads of trucks. We have tested at various locations more than 1,000 trucks. And we have findings. As a result of those findings, with the support of the Minister of Natural Resources and the Geology and Mines Commission, we are going to engage all owners of quarries, sand pits, and loom pits. This meeting will take place tomorrow afternoon. We're giving everybody a chance to understand the approach. We're asking for voluntary compliance and for the use of moral suasion, but enforcement will be swift after this engagement. So, yes, you would have seen the ministry would have had their teams out, and we still have some of our teams out, and these are mobile scales, so we are changing locations in a surprise manner. And over the last 2 weeks, the data that we have received have given us a good understanding of what is taking place. And we're going to have this engagement, and then we're going to start the enforcement. Now, if you are caught carrying more load than is allowed based upon the axles of your vehicle, you'll be stalled right wherever you are located, because we won't allow you to continue to traverse to continue to destroy roads and bridges and the rest of it. And you will also, based upon regulations, have to face financial consequences. So while we are preparing the enforcement, I'm using this opportunity this Friday afternoon to do public education and awareness and ensure that everybody is sensitized that we are moving in this particular direction. And lastly, as it relates to this slide, in order to improve efficiency, to remove discontent, and to ensure that we have a continuing engagement with the citizens that we are elected to serve, the ministry has decided to establish two hotlines. Two hotlines. The first hotline will deal particularly, and we will have a staff that will be able to receive all of these WhatsApp messages, pictures, and the rest of it. And it will be for citizens to report dissatisfactions or happenings that they have concerns about in their communities. For example, if a contractor digs up a road, scarifies it, the normal term is dig up, or we're doing a rigid pavement, concrete road, and they come and put down form boards, but you don't see the work continuing, you can't get access to your own property. You have to park, and everybody in the community agreed that in order for us to bring development, there will be a short-term inconvenience, but contractors are not executing their work, or they're not giving you access to your yard, or they've finished the road and they haven't restored your access, or they haven't fixed the shoulders, or you see people putting up billboards, or people building out new encroachments on the road, things that are offensive to the community and it's putting the community at risk. We are establishing a hotline for interaction and engagement with citizens, and this would be a cell number that you could post pictures and messages to, and this will be addressed on a daily basis by specially designated staff that will be operating out of the minister's office. So it is not just somebody receiving messages. They will bring these things to the attention of the minister. The responsible engineer, the responsible program manager will have to act immediately, and it's one way of improving citizen satisfaction, ensuring efficiency, and implementing government's program in a manner that benefits the people. That hotline number, and we will publish this in the media and in the various areas, is 624-2964. I repeat for emphasis, it's WhatsApp 624-2964. Feel free to send your messages, your pictures, contact details, and if you don't get action within a particular time, send a message back, and the minister will have to take responsibility of ensuring that action is taken. Now, let me address this issue, and I would have citizens to help. Encroachments on road shoulders and the rest of it. Now, traditionally, we've always had in the villages people who do their barbecue, their fish and chips, the people who sell the white pudding on the weekend, the people who sell the pillory, or the person who sell their mangoes or their guineas. They come out with their trays, they come out with their stalls, they sell, and then they go. We have a new phenomenon that is coming out that I think is dangerous to all of us. People are literally now building concrete and steel structures on the edge of the road. Cease orders have been issued, and if they don't remove it within a particular time, we will remove it. We will remove it. And this is for the benefit and the safety of all of us. The continuing engagement with the traffic chief who's doing a fantastic job and has been in full support of some of the initiatives here in the Ministry of Public Works, is that now, in the mornings, in certain highways and streets, people are actually using the road shoulders and undertaking in order for them to get past any traffic congestion. And that is breaking them road shoulders, but it's also putting people's life at risk, because sometimes now when they're going on these road shoulders to create the third lane, there are these caravans, stalls, and other erections that are being put up that is causing a real problem. This, like I said, is a vexing issue. And what we're asking, we got people who have traditionally done their business, and I want to give you the assurance, President Ali and the PPPC administration, it's not about taking bread out of anybody's mouth or stopping economic activity and economic opportunity. But we got to do so in a controlled and regulated manner. And we're asking citizens who see these new structures being built and put up, because as a ministry, we will be patrolling and we'll be checking. But just in case we miss, there's no harm. Let us know so that we can be able to deal with it immediately. The instructions to all of our engineers and technicians is that the same day that a new structure appears on the road shoulder, that same day it must be removed. The same day that a new encroachment or encumbrance is put on the road shoulder, it's the same day it must be removed. And if citizens see this and it's not being removed, well, then the engineer or the technician in that area will be held responsible. Please use the hotline number to send the information to us, and I want to repeat again. That hotline number is 624-2964. The second hotline that we have established, and this is to improve our delivery of services to our contractors. Here at the Ministry of Public Works, we have thousands of persons who are engaged in all 10 regions with contracts, whether to build roads, to maintain roads, to do city fences. Right now we have more than 100 bridges that are being built. This is heavy-duty concrete bridges in the various areas, several kilometers of city fences, kilometers of asphaltic roads, new highways, and of course, the new phenomenon that has really made a big impact and a big difference across the length and breadth of Guyana is the rigid pavement roads in the, or what we might want to call community roads. I want to repeat, contractors are viewed by us as partners in development. The ministry will not pay for sloppy work. The ministry will not allow contractors to make money and don't do the work based upon the design and the quantities that have been established by the bill and in their contract document. But contractors who feel aggrieved, they're not being paid, we have gone out and we have asked contractors why you haven't started the work. They haven't received a commencement order. The engineer haven't given them drawings. The surveyors have not completed their work, and we're hearing all kinds of excuses. We'll be establishing a hotline for contractors to use so that the ministry will be able to track all that is happening and improve efficiency. And that hotline number is 624-2965. 624-2965. And like I said, we're going to publish this in the media. We're going to publish it on the social media so that everybody will be aware of these new hotlines and they can be able to interface and engage. You could send messages as well as videos as well as pictures. And of course, contacts that we could engage and we can know who we are relating to so we can be able to bring satisfaction and resolution to these matters. as I close, these matters might look as small matters, but these are the issues that really affect a lot of people. Keeping our roadways safe is very important. When sand from sand trucks take over the road shoulders where the motorcycles have to ride, I have received the video footage of motorcyclists skidding and bruising and hurting themselves because the road surface was either having slush, sand, loam, or pebbles. We have seen windscreens that are broken as a result of a vehicle in front picking it up and pitching it, and these are pebbles that are dripping from trucks carrying aggregate on our roadways. We have been working and in the meeting that we will have with the Geology and Mines Commission, as well as the operators of sand pits, quarries and loam pits. Tailgates have to be locked. These things must be covered, and we will be doing the testing of the load very close to the quarry. As a matter of fact, we have set up to do testing on the Linden-Mabura road stretch right now to deal with some of the quarries in that area. So we got to do this together. This must not be a confrontation. There is no need for a standoff. We must have public education, and we must be able to cooperate and work together. So notice is given. Derelict vehicles, they're going to be removed. You damage government property, street lights, culverts, wing walls. You damage guardrails, or you're using heavy machinery walking on the road, you're damaging the actual road surface, or you're doing construction, and when you dump your sand on your loom to get it into your yard, you damage the surface of the road while you're removing it, you will be made to pay. And we're giving notice to everyone who are encroaching on government reserves, big businesses that feel that they are entitled to come all the way on the road to advertise and to engage in sales. Because sometimes when we talk about the encroachment on road shoulders, people like to see the small caravans and the small man being treated with. But we have seen quite a lot of big businesses, hardwares, supermarkets, and all of major that are now on the road. I spent some time today in Region 3, and I personally spoke to some of these businesses in Region 3 and given them a particular time frame to relocate themselves. If not, we will have to relocate them. As a matter of fact, people have taken time to build bonds on the road shoulders, steel structures, not even just a collapsible, but steel structures with some level of permanence, way past the reserve line or the fence line of all the other neighbors. And all the people who have to walk have to come in the path of the traffic. We're dealing with that, and we're continuing with the load restrictions on the trucks. We have seen the comments, we have heard the people jumping out of their bed at night because of the noise and the vibrations, and then of course we've had our own situation with damages and bulges as a result of the weight that is being carried by these trucks that are way past their ability because of the limited axle load that the trucks were made to carry. So ladies and gentlemen, my brothers and sisters, let the conversation be one that will help all of us. Let's keep Guyana clean. Dumping of garbage on the road shoulders. You might be surprised to know that on the new Eccles, or I should say Ogle to Eccles Interlink Road, the new 4-lane road, tons of garbage we've had to be picking up on a continuous basis Because somebody who don't want to make it all the way to the dump site see that as a short drop off and they drop it on the road shoulder to keep the place clean. Contractors who are involved in weeding and cleaning that don't do their work properly and don't clean up and move away the grass, we have put measures in place to start weeding them out of the system and replacing them with contractors who will do the job efficiently. The hotline numbers to engage with the ministry is 624-2964. That's dedicated to citizens who want to report a matter. And 624-2965 is dedicated to our contractors and all the persons who are in obligations to the ministry and have to provide services. And if you're having a difficulty, we have repeatedly said to contractors, if there's an ongoing issue that is not being resolved at the level of the engineer and the project manager, escalate it to the minister within 2 weeks. No design, survey, approval, commencement must take more than 2 weeks in talks and cannot be resolved. If it is not, escalated to the minister's action. And the numbers for contractors to use, where you don't get paid on time, your cubes are not being tested, you're not getting your IPC service. We are concerned and we want to do better. Let us know. 624-2965 is that number. We are happy and thankful that the people of Guyana have asked us to continue to serve, and we will serve you as we continue to modernize and transform Guyana. God bless you, and thank you very much.